Okay, let's try this with streaming as well. And judging by the OBS overlay, we are live. And it seems to be all green. Very well, then I'm Airless the One. This is Art of Rally, and this is a speedrun of Art of Rally. And let me turn this back up, and this run is the run of the freeroam maps. So first things first, we have to show that I have them reset. I rep the pride flag as always. And let's get started. We're using the Group B because it's very indicative of Group B is very symbolic of Rally. Most people refer to it as the Golden Age, but let me scale that back and talk about the game itself. So this game is a stylized little love letter to rallying as a whole. So let me start my timer, and when I start driving, I'll start it again. Let me double check the timer is rolling, and yeah. I will hopefully be providing some more commentary. I just want to get started and see if this rolls properly. Yep, performance seems okay. And I've got my base notes. Art of Rally, styles a little love letter to rallying. And in this run I'm using the Group B cars, which are essentially a short period in the 80s, where the regulations were relaxed and rallying was an arms race. Cars were getting faster and faster, and a lot of technological advancement happened within these few years, and this game sort of has a lot of both famous cars and some prototypes that never had the chance, such as this car, which is based on the British Metro 6R4, which was built to race, but it was developed just slightly late, as the Group B was banned because it was just too dangerous. The problem was that with turbocharging becoming very comparatively easy to do, Group B cars became more powerful than ever, and drivers could not handle them. And the crowds were just standing around the track because back then the safety regulations were, oh, that's a good jump, a lot less strict. And so this car just never had the chance to perform, really. Even though it had some very cutting-edge aerodynamics, and interestingly, it wanted to defy the turbo trend, and it had a naturally aspirated non-turbo V6 because one of the problems of Group B was turbo lag, because response becomes much slower with turbo. But this car has instant response because it has no turbo. I figured that might be why it's given as your first Group B car, for most people that don't really know the specifics of turbo lag. I adore this game because it's fairly easy to pick up. It's not extremely demanding, but this is another collectible. This is the developer's van. We have to collect it because we have to get all the collectibles, which you can see under my face on the screen, hopefully. The collectibles are Dunes, the developer's van. 5 cassettes, and collecting all 5 gives you a new sound track. Music track. It's part of the same sound. God, I'm a little loopy today. Then there's 5 photos, which are supposedly views of the countryside. In this case, the beautiful Finnish countryside of Korkate Lakes, if I recall correctly. And then there's 5 others that spell out Rally. which I always found very ironic, because yes, this is the primary skill of Rally, is being able to take L's. The thing that fascinates me about Rally is that it's because the driver is not familiar with the road. The driver sees the road for the first time, and it's just a regular road. It becomes a lot less about precision, and a lot more about knowing your limits. And mistakes, considering the stages, mistakes are inevitable, and it's seen as part of the skill, the art of Rally, to be able to deal with mistakes and just go on. And by God, I've made a few mistakes already, like crashing into the van instead of just driving by it. It has a fairly forgiving radius, but also, okay, this is an interesting one because this L is suspended after a jump, which we really have to take from this direction, so we are doing this little detour to grab the L, to take the L. And we've took this L wonderfully. This is a very soft landing. To note is that this game has very honest physics. There's no auto leveling, so if you go off a jump weird, you go off a jump weird. That's just how it is. And this is why the uneven terrain is so harsh. Because you're always just one weird bounce away from having to reset the car. Oof. A little loose there. Okay. It's important not to spam escape when I'm trying to exit the photo menus, because they are, in fact, if you spam escape, I'm not exactly sure on why, but the game locks you into a pause-like state where you... Oh, no, come on. A pause-like state. And I got spawned in the wrong direction. Into a pause-like state where you actually have to manually press escape again to exit it. So, some patience required. Also, I am short-shifting a lot today. Okay, that's a little better, and this is another fun one. We have to take the Y, not the L this time, but the Y. And excellent. Okay, we're doubling back on the level because we now have to just drive past the starting little area, past the spectators, which again are not to actual rallying, because I feel like the rally spectators that just stand around the track without barriers really are an intrinsic part of rally. And in this game, just to clarify, you cannot hit them. They will always be out of your way, just to sort of prolong this sort of Group B dream. That it was never, because this game pretends like the Group B ban has never happened, and the mythical Group S prototypes happened because there was nothing to stop it. No accidents happened. It's an interesting little what if. And honestly, I think this is a great place to start if you are interested in rallying. Also, this is this rounds up the Finland part. Let me switch to my next set of face notes. Free roam. We're going to San Pedro Island off Sardinia. Oh, okay, Group B. And we're going to be driving the Audi Quattro, which is another very important Group B car for some other reasons. And we're driving a very special livery, which also makes sense. I'll get into that as soon as we start. And I am running these very odd splits because technically those are separate categories, so I want to keep the menuing time out of them, so that these are eligible as individual speedruns. Because I know that in a marathon setting, I'm probably not gonna set the world records, but I still want to have set my personal records. Okay. The other important thing about Group B was that it was the advent of four-wheel drive. Before that, manufacturers considered four-wheel drive, but it was seen as something for dedicated off-roaders, just too heavy to be useful for going fast. Until Audi pushed out this prototype, the Audi Quattro, which, in its debut year... Oh! Why did Ender not... Okay, for some reason my button did not register. Did I miss the button? Okay. See, you saw the escape, like, pause-like state. Because I was a little worried there. And take a little left here. Four-wheel drive was seen as something too heavy until Quattro showed up, and in its debut year, where it didn't really compete, it just drove on the same tracks as a test run. And it finished half an hour ahead of the current top-level cars. And that kick-started everyone onto the path of having to develop four-wheel drive. This car's first actual rally was the Rally of Thousand Lakes rally in Finland. But importantly, this livery was the livery of Michelle Mouton, the only woman to have success in Group B rally. And she won her first rally here in Italy, which we're driving around right now. It was Rally San Remo, not this in this game called Rally Sardinia, which aren't exactly the same, but it's definitely a callback. And I thought it would be appropriate. Michelle was almost a champion. And remember, this was during the 80s. She faced a lot of backlash, and her teammate Walter Roll, who is the actual champion, he himself admitted in an interview, like during somewhere like in the last decade, that had it been wiser back in the 80s, he would have given her the other championship, because she finished just one, like I think 2 points behind him in one of the championships. And he says that if he wasn't, like if he was wiser, he would have given her a title, so she would be the woman that conquered Group B. But sadly, he says that he was a guy in the 80s who was terrified of the thought of losing a title to a woman. And no, he did not. He fought with, and it was a well-earned title. But yeah, he laments that things could have been different. The other important thing is, after Group B got banned, Michelle, who saw her close friends die in Group B in the accidents, Michelle started a petition and he fought for safety in rally, for the regulations and for regulations for both driver and like spectator safety. And the interesting thing is, she does to this day. And yet she has a fraction of the fame of Walter Roll. So I figured it would be nice to rep her livery and give her a little more credit. Turning back a little to the game side, I have to note that one interesting thing about this run is that since this is free roam, there are no predetermined routes. The collectibles are just scattered around the map where you can't really go anywhere, which I feel adds an interesting part to this run in that you can route yourself and building literal routes, because you're literally selecting where you want to turn, and that's one of the challenges I faced, that I need to have face notes to remember where I need to go. So far I've been on the pace. pace notes, I guess. Not really the pace, I've been a little slower than I'd like to, but marathon safety. I want to have roughly nice times. Also, this is another like little loop we have to turn to collect this tape. And I'll go right there. And this is the interesting thing, because you actually have to remember and plot your own route. Okay, this is also a tricky one. I've went over that crest entirely too many times in practice. This is the first though. Ugh, okay. We'll pretend that didn't happen, and that's just rally. Which, actually, yeah, this is just rally. Mistakes are a part of the ride. So, let's see. And sadly, I don't have my browser open right now, so if there is anybody in the chat, I can't read it right now because I don't have my second monitor set up right now. It's a little brokey, but figure something out later. Hopefully the stream is holding up okay. But yes. This is another double back I have to remember, and I've missed and I've lost a lot of practice runs to it. Yet this are. And we're on the final stretch of Rally Sardinia, and on the final stretch of this Audi Quattro's run, because this is the early Quattro too. Because one thing to be noted is Rally in Group B saw a very fast development cycle. Quattro came and annihilated everything in its debut year, but just 2 years later, it was struggling to catch up. They had completely redesigned it from the ground up multiple times with the S1 and the Bike Speed versions, because they tried to keep the design relevant, but different cars just could not keep up to cars being designed, to other cars being designed specifically for the purpose of rallying in Group B. And the other thing is, it was a sport coupe, which was sort of a dying genre, and Audi struggled to really sell it. It sold very quickly, but it just was not quite as profitable. Also, okay, this concludes Rally Sardinia, and we will jump over to, let me double check that, yes, my splits are good this time! Oh, even though my, okay, we'll see that my layout has not been saved, so. Okay, Camden Mountains, we're going to Japan, and this time we are taking the thing that took down the Quattro, the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16. Let me turn my face notes. And before I start the Japan split, let me double check my actual chat, if there is any. Okay. Simply because, and double check the stream. Surprisingly, I'm seeing very few drop frames, so I'm guessing I actually figured out my internet. Or maybe I just got lucky. And, dashboard. Let me just double check quick. Because I want to see if the stream is running smoothly before I start with the next split. Okay, yeah, stream manager. Nah. Bitrate seems stable, and, yeah, so far this is smooth. Excellent, even, it says. And, oh yeah, actually, oh yeah! Funny, I'm glad to see you in chat. That's lovely. Okay, I'm very glad to see you. I will still not be able to see the chat as I run, but I will be I will be checking in between the splits. Thankfully, this is why I specifically set the splits up in this very weird way, but yeah. Okay, and let me tune back into the game and get started. In the meantime, I'm actually gonna ask you if my mic and audio balance sounds good. I've checked it in recordings and it seemed fine in the recordings, but I'm a little apprehensive, and I've changed a bunch of mic settings lately, so I will be double asking you about that. So I've got the new pace notes, I've got the new stage, and I've got more to run. So this is Rally Japan. Also, yeah, what got you getting a new color, because this is just how the way this route goes. And this is the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16. And it's an important event in that Peugeot saw a different... Actually, the first car manufacturer for this was Renault. Renault saw that, you know, it's nice to base rally cars on like sporty platforms, but sporty platforms don't sell as much. What if we had a sporty car that was based on a very common cheap car that people would buy after seeing it in rally? And that's what the Renault Turbo 5 was. It sold it. But even then, the Turbo 5 was very different from the actual regular 5 visually. People didn't want the actual 5. 205 Turbo 16 was the development of that, because it looked a lot like the regular production 205. And if you had the money, you could have had the 205 GTI, the 205R, which were not the rally specials, but they were solid sporty things for as opposed to just being commuters. And they sold excellently, and they funded Peugeot the whole time. The other thing to say was that it was much shorter. Audi, the Quattro was long, and even if they tried to when they tried to shorten it with the Audi Quattro S1, it was still cumbersome. It was front heavy. It had a simplistic four-wheel drive that did not really make the car agile. This was lighter than the Quattro. This was more powerful than the Quattro. This was more agile than the Quattro. And sadly, by 1983, Audi just couldn't keep up, because this was just better. It was a lot twitchier, but it was better. It was a better performer. We got the van. Okay, let's... Ooh, nice. That was a fairly good turnaround. Okay, let's get some speed. Rally Japan opens up not that often, and we have to use all the speed we get, although I need to be kind of careful. One thing that Rally teaches you is not to always hold the throttle. Like, a lot of games drill it into you that you should always be accelerating. Not really. Rally will teach you that, no, sometimes you have to lift. And sometimes that's just necessary. But also, sometimes you just have to take a brave jump, because this is a very nice shortcut. It just lines itself perfectly, and it's very consistent, and it looks excellent on stream. I'm also hoping the video quality holds up, because I had to turn it down a lot to make the motion carry. Sadly, that meant the actual quality of the image had to go down significantly. But the motion's worth it, because this is what Rally's about, motion. And let's get this. A. It doesn't go into this bamboo forest. And go right over here. This game is... Its physics are kind of hard to explain, because they are... It is absolutely not a simulator. It's an arcade, but it's very... I wouldn't say it's sim-like, but it's a realistic arcade. It will require some finesse. It will require getting used to. But also it operates on the very real principles, so... General some racing or driving experience will help you immensely. Also, I need to not cut this corner because there is a bump, and I've lost many a practice run to this. And now we're going up the famous little hairpins, and this is going to be a little tough because four-wheel drive drifts are a little tough to do. Ooh, oversteer a little, but still fairly clean. Almost drove into the wall, but... Oh, this! This was more like it. This was not like it. Well, you win some and you lose some, I guess. And I've shifted into neutral. God, I need to pay a little... Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, that's just the certified rally moment. We'll just call this a certified rally moment. Things happen, and we'll take the conveniently placed L. And also take the not very conveniently placed jump, and of course I find the only tree in my path. This is a less elegant shortcut, but I haven't found a better one. I don't really like running the shortcuts that much, the ones that are not elegant, because this is a driving game and I wanted to stay focused on the driving. But honestly, some jumps are just too good, like the previous two little brave jumps. They are just excellent. And yeah. Also, note, I'm running this game on the lowest graphics ever, so there's no grass, no really ambient occlusion and whatnot, and so this game is a much more it's already beautiful even at its lowest spec, but trust me when I say that this game looks amazing when you turn up the specs a little. Which I sadly don't, because I want to provide a consistent picture over a stuttery beautiful one. Which is the set trade-offs we have to do. My internet is just like that, so I'll settle for a consistent image over a sometimes good one. Ooh, that was very sketchy. That was very sketchy. Oh no, I did not know how I got away with this. So this is another set of switchbacks I have to navigate. Hopefully a little better. I say as I slide out. Oof. Ooh. Okay, that was good enough, good enough. This game is, I also have to note that it has assists if you like. Yeah, I'm using manual, of course, but because I like to shift my gears. But this game has a bunch of assists, which I know that some sim racers scoff at having assists, but I am and always have been for accessibility. Like, they are options that should be there. I will not use them because I don't need them, but it is a good thing that they're there. The game allows you to specifically, well, have automatic gears, obviously. It allows you to set your counter steer angles, so in case it's just to save yourself from the very twitchy motions you have to do to sometimes counter steer effectively. And also, it allows you to set, I think it's stability, is glorified stability control, which I have turned down to about 50%, and I like that it's very gradual. I think it starts in that you will always need a little bit of it, because this is an awkward viewing angle, and also this is a game I'm playing with keyboard, so it allows for that sort of precision. Also, another very brave jump. Oh no, this is a much less brave jump. Rally, certified rally moment indeed, and yep, we're on our wheels. Let's see if we can land on our wheels again. That'll do. Sadly, I did not find, like, there was another, like, elegant jump, but it misses the Y letter, sadly. And we need the letters. So sadly, it just has to be like that. I have found a better jump, but I could not do it this time, so... certified rally moment. Let's enjoy the fact that this little toy-like, dream-like cars... I always like the aesthetic of this game, because it's so... not even like toy-like, it's like kind of like a dream. It has sort of dreamlike quality to it, and let's appreciate that there's no technically there is damage if you want to set it in the career mode, but there is no, really, there is none if you don't want there to be any. And we're getting to the final tape, which will also, the final tape puts on this game's only Eurobeat track on, so, which is conveniently titled Do It for Takumi. Let me get the new pace notes and let me double check my splits. And yes, I forgot to set my splits to actually display the segment time instead of total time. Okay, let me double check on y'all. Okay, so you two are here still here, and oh, you're hosting, Shiny. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so in the meantime, while I'm here double checking things, so I've asked you, is my audio quality good? Specifically the balance of like voice, my voice as to the game music and the game sound. Hopefully it's not like they're not canceling each other out too much. Because I was afraid of that a bit. Okay, so I've got the news. Pace notes, we're about halfway through. And hopefully we're going to be a little more quick because I am a little off the pace. Although maybe the quick Kenya will fix that. I'll get started on... Also, this is one we have to run at sunset because otherwise this track is set in Finland and it is... Okay, Group B. And we're dropping, and the 4RS200 because this track is set in Norway. It has a lot of snow, and with the early morning sun, what it ran in the previous stages, it's exceptionally easy to get snowblind with the low sun. And this actually gives me a much better, what? Yes, left and okay. Sorry, I just missed the pace note, and I thought I went the wrong way. Also, actually, no, I actually get some got rays there, huh? But yeah, point is, this stage is very hard to do sometimes with the morning setting, because sometimes the low sun eliminates the road, and it becomes almost invisible against the general snow. Oof. Okay, then. I am short-shifting too much today. We're going down the road, and, turn. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I missed my breaking point. I'm approaching the bit that I'm not entirely familiar, and I haven't practiced this one as much. Okay, L. Tape. I have my pace notes. That's exactly why I have my pace notes set, so that if I forget my route, I can double check, and that I can always be sure I'm on the right track. Okay, so... Okay, yes, I remember. I'm going to get a letter here. And this is another one of those bits where I have to go... Oh! And get a letter and then turn around, because this is all I'm going here for. Whoop. Very clean turnaround. And let's see, clean... Oop. Not the cleanest, but we will take it. Clean enough. Clean enough jump. Hairpin maybe left. I'm reading down my hairpin, down my pace notes. I am not entirely. I don't think I might remember what I mean exactly by that. And that scares me a little. Oh yes, no. I think I might remember. I might remember exactly what I mean. No, I don't. I did. This was just a side note that I thought that maybe yes, there are snowbanks that I thought that maybe I could cut them here, which I will not because I don't want to risk it, and we're doing a marathon. We're gonna go left, get that letter, and see here with the beautiful sunset sun. We have very orange light and a very blue snow. and the road should be a much more blue back when we switch back to snow road. This is paved, and this is very easy to see. But as we will be coming back, also notice the letter R, we will be coming back later. This will be much harder to see, and you'll see why I had to switch to sunset. I thought of maybe running all the stages at sunset, because the game looks very beautiful at sunset. But yes, this is a thing that I like about routing this game. Some letters are placed over jumps or off of cliffs that you only can really get in one direction or another. Which means that sometimes you get one-way routes that you really need to complete from one side and not... Oh, that's excellent! I did not slide down, I didn't need to reset. This is excellent. I need to... Okay, so... This is excellent. I have not yet talked about the car I'm driving this time, because this is a Ford RS200. Which is a very interesting car, because the Ford has, so far at this point in Group B, it used this Escort and its Ford Sierra Cosworth, and it had success with them, and it wanted to do the rear-wheel drive Escort. Until it discovered the success of Audi Quattro. And it had to quickly scrap project. Okay, see, this is the road I was talking about. It would be nearly invisible in the morning sun. But thankfully it's a lot more visible in the little sunset. Some would say it's cheating, manipulating stuff, but honestly I think that's just speedrun strats. I'm allowed to set settings, and that's it. Back to the Ford, and Ford had to quickly design a Group B car. And when they saw that this is something that requires a lot more unique stuff, the RS200 was unique in that it was designed from the ground up. It had a lot of shared parts bin components, but it was not based on any existing platform. It used a lot. Its body panels are not shared with anything, and it looks unlike any Ford you've seen, and it was exceptionally cute. And also I need to double check where I have to go, and I have to go left. Right, I'm not sure why. Yes, there's the wash. For a second I got lost there, just because I don't know why this specific intersection trips me up every time. In practice, in previous runs, there's something about this intersection in particular. I know my route, and I know fairly well, but this intersection in particular gets me every time. Anyway, the Ford RS200, sadly, it participated, but again, it was a little too late to really be a competitor, and its turbo power plant was a little underdeveloped. It was a little down in power. Group B was an exceptional arms race, just so you get a little taste of how aggressive the power race was. Back in 1980, the early year of Group B, there was the Opel Manta, which had 200 horsepower, and 230 maybe. No, a better example would be the Lancia 37 Evo, which had 250 horsepower, and that was seen as a very competitive car. By the middle of it, by 83, we had the Audi Quattro, which had 500 horsepower, and that was seen as strong, but already somehow falling behind, starting to fall. It was not exceptional. And then, just so to get a taste, the Lancia Delta S4, which we will take a look at later, it was reported as having about 600 horsepower, 20 pounds of boost. And the report said that this car handled up to 30. So it is anyone's guess as to how much power it really made on this stage. And that just tells you the insane power creep of Group B. The RS200 made 400 horsepower, which seemed very respectable back in, and excellent back in 1981. but it was already not enough to compete in 84. It was just not enough. Oh, okay. I got a little confused because once again, I forgot that this is a final little loop. And we're getting our tape, unlocking the final song, and the new song, and that's the split for Norway. Okay. Thank you, Shiny. I'm glad you're talking to say that I'm great as a streamer, and I'm recording this because I want to apply to stream a speedrun, which is why I'm trying to position myself as a streamer right now. I am trying my best to fill in the silence on my own. Also, no! I did not press it when I started Norway, so I don't actually have a split for Norway, so I'll have to split it again. Sadly, I won't be able to publish the Norway split, but oh well. Something for another time, maybe. Besides, I'm not really proud of this Norway to have that. Now comes Germany, which is a fairly tough one, and last run, I have had a lot of trouble with it, because I got lost around the stage multiple times. Also, let me find the... there it is! The Gorilla 4S, as the game calls it, with its no rights reserved name. Okay, Germany, left, straight, left, right. Okay. Now looking at my pace notes and getting ready to start, and okay, so we are having to go right. Yes, I forgot to edit it because I have to go right. For some reason, my pace notes are completely wrong. I have to go right, then straight, then through the chicane, and actually, do I have to go left? No, I have to go right. Once again, fools. Even then, any of my failures, I'm hoping to take in true rally spirit. I'm hoping to take my L's honestly, because that's part of the rally, dealing with your mistakes, and that's part of why I love marathon speedrunning, because it is about also we'll have to deal with a new color, and ooh, we got not the SO gold. I'm not remember what exactly this livery is a reference to. But we got one of the historic liveries, and which are actually pretty cool. I like this one. Okay, so let's drive back. I am really hoping I didn't miss anything at the start by taking the right and not the left as I have ridden, because I was fairly confident that's how it was supposed to go. And we have to make a very hard jump. No! I missed it! I missed it again! I missed it again! I missed it again. God, no. This is something that happened last time I did Germany too. This jump is... oh god, it's very awkward. This jump is very tough. And I missed it multiple times last time, and I'm hoping that I can take this L in better. I do not want to be taking L's at this early. Except this L. The worst part is, this jump requires a lot of speed, and you don't have a lot of... No! How am I not... was I not fast enough? Once again, I'll have to run this again, and hopefully this will be the third time's the charm. No short shifting. All balls. Yes! So I think after I take the L, I have to go this way. Yes. Get L straight. Yes, straight and straight. Straight and right. No! Okay, a bit of trivia. These little stones you see around the road are actually a real thing, and these Germany had across their fields as a counter to as an anti-vehicle measure when they were preparing for defense, and they have functioned very well. They stop vehicles alright. Crashing into those is very much not advised, because they are very much hard rock, and they will stop you very quickly. And as we all know, it's not the speed that kills you, it's the sudden stop. Oop. Oop. Again, a little off. Anyway, let's talk about this car. This is the Delta S the Lancia Delta S4. Lancia understood that, like, with the 37 and the Stratus, understood that, you know what, sports cars don't sell, let's base it on the Delta, which is the little hatchback. And, but also they were like, do we want to turbo this? Do we want to supercharge this? Because we want the turbo power, but we don't want the turbo lag. So they did the next best thing, and they twin charged it, which means they did both a turbo and a supercharger. And okay, we're not yet there. I'm double checking because there will be one very interesting route I have to take there, because there is another very accident-prone area in the Germany split. Oh no! Oh no! Okay. That's not it, but not yet the accident-prone split, but we'll talk about it. So, and the Delta S4 had both, which is why it has this sort of very unique whining sound. And the interesting thing is, Lancia was exceptionally good at rallying. It's just that, okay, this is it. Because I keep forgetting that it has this very awkwardly placed letter R that you have to cut while you don't see it through the trees. And I did not get it. Let's see, maybe we'll get it on our next try. Hopefully I won't have to do it 5 times like I did last time. And, this should be easier than I think, but of course the stream lock is like that, and it's always tough to do things. No! We missed it again. Let's do, and just getting bad streamer's luck, but I'll hopefully try and not let it discourage me. Let's try our best and get it right this time. Okay, that was not a jump even. God, this is one very awkwardly placed letter. Maybe there's a different setup for this jump that somebody can take, but I don't know a better setup than trying to go from here, then cutting to here, and just aiming for the bush. Yes! I keep forgetting that the letters have a fairly generous area. Unlike the tapes, the letters have a fairly big headbox, really. Much bigger than they look. And, no. You don't have to be going as fast to grab some of those letters as the size might lead you. Okay, so I need to go, left and yes, straight then right. I was sure that's, but I want to double check because I wanted to have a little more confidence, because the roughness of this stage is, it starts to erode to work at your confidence. This next I have to take this L and actually wait, straight right. Left a bell. I am not sure. No, please. Please. Yes, I remember now. I'm not sure why it took me so long to do this. I just get bad luck with Germany splits. This is a tough stage because reactions on tarmac are quicker, and the change from when you drive off-road from tarmac to dirt is very noticeable and very jarring. And also, sadly, this is kind of a real detour we have to take because there's only one picture of this hill that we need to take. But we need to take everything. We need to enjoy. Also, you can see it in the background. It's a faint little blue dot right now. The little photograph icon. Okay, and there it is. And I short shift again. And let's ship. Continue driving. Reverse. First. And let's go down. With a sickness. Actually, probably don't go down with a sickness. We do not need to be sick right now. Sick style? Maybe. Sickness? Never. Stay safe, everyone. And, okay, that was better than I expected, and you can hear that I'm being a little harder to, it's a little harder for me to come up with commentary in around this area because this is a little more tough. You can hear it. You can probably hear the tension in my voice, and also a little bit of a strain because this is a solid hour of talking we're talking about. Yeah. Now I should make my words better. Yes, and now we're on a final stretch of Germany. A little straight road and a little loop at the end. Oh no, oh no. Not a big deal. We can recover. Just don't get discouraged. I was thinking of maybe adding an incentive to run this, all of the stages at night, which makes it a little harder to navigate. It doesn't make the run longer, but it makes the crashes spectacular as the headlights cut through the darkness, and also, it is a little tougher to navigate, I guess. If that as a donation incentive for this speedrun. I don't know what the donation incentive would be, but how much would you have to, but this will probably be up to the hosts. Also, okay, the van. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bonk the van, but we take what we get. Oh, no, 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 oh. We... Okay, and get Y, and to get the last picture. Okay, and that's a split. So let me double check on the chat, and there you are. There you are. My chat, Okay. My splits seem to be fine. I finished Germany, and I have to only do the candy, and I have very little time, very little room, because my Germany was not stellar. I'll do Sunset for fun, and we'll be using this time we'll be using the 559, which is definitely not a play on the Porsche 959. This will be the last split, and I can do this. I have done this in practice in 7 minutes, so hopefully we'll still be under estimate of 1 hour. I know I've set the estimate of 1 hour 10 just to be safe, but I hope to finish these runs under 1 hour in general. I'm just setting a generous estimate in case of bad stream luck. Also, maybe maybe Sunset at Kenya was a bit of a mistake, but it's a beautiful mistake. And we care about this beauty. Oh, nope. I accidentally changed the track, but we'll take that. So I need to actually change my pace now because I forgot to do that. Left and straight. Okay. I roughly remember it, but I just still don't like having face notes because it really helps with anxiety. It helps with that sense of like, what if I don't remember? Because if you don't... I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Extremely unprofessional streamer here. Maybe it's just the marathon luck cutting in as the run closes. Anyway, so yeah, I like having pace notes because they really help with anxiety. Because when you feel like, what if I forget? It's a lot easier to tell yourself, even if you don't use the pace notes, it's easy to tell yourself that nothing bad happens if I forget. If I forget, I look at my pace notes. It's a bit of a time loss, but it's not as big of a time loss as getting lost on a stage. Not really a stage, I guess, because we're just in freeroam and it's not really a stage, but technically it's a map. Getting lost in general, I guess. Also, is this left? Is this a left? No, this is a right. Ah, God. Oh no, I mixed it up with the last corner. Right. Yes, this next one's gonna be a left. It would be really nice to have a co-driver, but I think, sadly, I don't really have anybody available to help me out with this. So I'm doing this solo because I can indeed do this solo. It's not impossible, but just... I'm planning to maybe have somebody at the couch, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to record this, even, so... that will be that. Okay, grab the tape, not miss it like last time. And while we have time, I want to talk about the car. The 959 is a really interesting project, of course, because they wanted to take part in Group B, and but they were late because the production finished of the car was finished in '86, almost 2 years after Group B closed. A year technically, but point is, and they thought the next thing is, okay, first off I have to visit our friend Dune. Okay, we got that. Porsche thought that we shouldn't let it go to waste. And they entered it and they made it even more off-road and entered it into the car. And they won it. And then they just decided that, you know what, that's generally a very good development, and they made it into their race car. And so, this interesting bit of trivia, the 959, the 80s race supercar, to rival many, was devised as a rally car. Okay, downshift. I bogged down a lot on this. But... okay. It's stressful going after those because you don't need to mash enter, but I have on multiple occasions just drove past the picture. Even in this run, really. Okay. Also, yes, the animals are very solid because they're just props. And also because this is a dreamlike little game. There's no violence in here. There's just driving. So I love that the god rays almost look like dust settling across the plains. Okay. Let's see. We still have one L to take and 2 tapes to take. And if I recall correctly, yes. There is an optimal way to do this, and I'm not doing this. I'm doing the fancy one that allows for me for a very fun, fast finish. If I did not miss the L. I'm hoping I did not miss the L. Because I know that's where the last 2 letters, the 2 they call it, tapes are. If I miss the L, this would be very unfortunate. So it should be really close. I know where I probably missed it. Well, I've missed it, so we're going on an adventure of trying to fix a run. I have missed it by not going... Yeah, this is gonna be a long drive around, I think. Yeah, we'll do this for marathon stuff. Okay. Yep, I've forgotten about one of the 180s. That's why I turned right there. I remember now. Okay. I will not let this discourage me, and even though this is gonna be a terrible time, I will still get this. That's what streaming's about. Is this it? This is not it. But I can do it this way too. Which should maybe prove more interesting, because I don't think I drive along this road in the normal run. And I might be stumbling onto the hill from the other direction. Is this where it is? No, it's not. Okay, I am totally not lost. And I really should have brought a map so that I could cross-reference when I missed something. Yeah, I think I should have. Yep, this is where it should be, I think. No, it's not, and I know where it is. I know where it is, and I've been very dumb. Of course. I should have just not panicked right here, and I should have looked at the map for a little longer, because it just clicked to me where it is. And, I wanted to take the L, but I will proudly wear my failure, because sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes you get lost, but you should not let that stop you. And you should always strive to finish a run, even if it's really bad like this. Because a bad run is still better than no run. It's not okay, yes, I am on the correct path. It should be right up front before the intersection. Because this is, yep, there is the tall gate that I did not see ahead of me. And I am taking this L with full honesty. I have messed up, I have forgot my routing. But I will take this in stride. I will take this. Yeah. I will take this. This is with failure. But I've done this. And this is still, overall, something nice. Because we've completed a run. And we've done something good. I thank you for watching. And I highly recommend trying this game out if you're interested in Rally. It gives you a very nice, palpable little introduction to Rally history that's not too hard to master, and it's very beautiful to watch. Also, it has a literal photo mode which has actual photo settings for all of those photo nerds out there, including turning on off autofocus and actually setting the focus distance yourself, including setting the aperture even. As I said, this is a very beautiful game that is even more beautiful when you turn up the graphics settings, which I can't because I'm here for performance. Thank you so very much for watching this. Thank you so very much for bearing with this. This is also going to be my application for a run, my speed run at Power Up with Pride 2022. And maybe other events, because the other event I plan to submit this to is the McRaeathon 2022. Even though I probably went into too much detail describing cars for a car nerd run like McRaeathon. Thank you again. I've said that 4 times, but thank you. I will peace out, and I will see you all later. Hopefully I will submit more runs, and hopefully I will stream more, as I'm planning to make art and streaming my full-time thing. I'll probably come up with a schedule soon enough. Thank you, and goodbye. Have a good time of day. Take care of yourselves. Peace.